It can only be described as a farce. An investigation that dragged on for 3 years, a secret report handed to the Commonwealth prosecutor that turns out to be useless for pursuing criminal action, and state-policed investigations stymied by Fair Work Australia's refusal to cooperate. Today, the saga of alleged corruption within the Health Services Union involving Labor MP Craig Thomson deepened as Australia's peak union body took the unprecedented step of suspending it. Shortly, I'll be speaking with the HSU's acting president, Chris Brown, but first, this report from Hayden Cooper.
In a scandal like this, it seems no one comes out looking squeaky clean. Not Craig Thomson.
Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Not the Health Services Union.
They've tarred every official of this union with a one brush.
And not Fair Work Australia.
Certainly a fairly clear error has been made of not liaising closely with the DPP.
After 3 years of work and 1,100 pages of reporting, Fair Work Australia's inquiry appears to have come to very little, because the investigation is not a formal brief of evidence with which the Commonwealth DPP can work. John Lloyd is a former senior deputy president of the Industrial Relations Commission, the body Fair Work Australia replaced. He senses a bungle by the workplace investigators.
Well, the normal thing is that you liaise with the office of the DPP, you conduct your investigation, and then you assemble a brief of evidence. The brief of evidence establishes the alleged crimes which have occurred and ensures that the evidence will stand up in court. That's then submitted to the DPP. In this case, that clearly was not done. All they did was dump a 1,100-page report on the DPP and said, over to you.
Been with the HSU,
so has the inquiry into Craig Thomson and his former union been pointless? The MP himself appears relieved.
No, but look, we've received nothing from Fair Work Australia, but the DPP's indications yesterday were very encouraging and are very consistent with what I've said all along about being innocent in relation to this issue. So we're encouraged by that, but we really still have a lack of information generally.
But it's not the end. New South Wales Police have told 7:30 they want to get their hands on the Fair Work report.
Strikeforce Carnarvon continues to be an ongoing investigation. New South Wales Police will be seeking to obtain a copy of the Fair Work Australia report. Significant progress has been made since the commencement of the investigation.
So should Fair Work Australia have taken that path to begin with?
There is nothing in the Fair Work Registered Organisations Act that prevents the General Manager meeting with the police and disclosing information to them.
Stuart Wood is a senior counsel whose advice was referred to this week in the Fair Work report. In the end, his opinion was ignored because he believes Fair Work Australia should have cooperated with police from the word go.
Both the Privacy Act and the fact that the information may be confidential must give way to the public interest. The AGS's own advice says that. It says that the Privacy Act doesn't apply when information is reasonably necessary for the enforcement of the criminal law. And the AGS's own advice says that any confidentiality in the material must give way to the public interest. And the public interest in this case is overwhelming.
I understand, and I think it is important, that the police ask yet again for Fair Work Australia to cooperate with them. If that doesn't happen, then I think the police forces in those two states may well be justified in seeking to obtain warrants.
All of this, Fair Work Australia, DPP, independent, and the decisions made are a matter for them.
The political brawl over the Thomson affair will go on and on. The opposition is now fighting to have the report handed over to a Senate inquiry. And Fair Work Australia says it will comply, but it will take 4 to 6 weeks.
It's now imperative that that evidence be made available in the correct form to the right authorities so that the guilty parties can be identified, prosecuted and where necessary punished.
If Fair Work Australia considers there are legal impediments to doing the thing properly, well, then those should be addressed as a matter of urgency by the government, and any deficiencies in the legislation should be quickly rectified.
Just the whiff of scandal, it seems, is enough for some parties to act.
As far as I know, this is an unprecedented step for the ACTU. It is very serious and very grave, and we do not take this decision lightly.
The ACTU's stunning move to kick out one of its own reveals a good deal about how the rest of the Labor movement feels about this damaging saga, especially since Jed Carney hasn't seen or read the 1,100-page Fair Work investigation.
No, we haven't seen the report, but we are aware that there has been, for many years now, ongoing investigations, that this isn't the only investigation. But we didn't want to take this step until we knew that there was some firm evidence of some misdealings. And for us, the tabling of the Fair Work Australia report is clear evidence that there are grounds for us to have serious concerns about the governance issues within the HSU, within some sections of the HSU.
I think it was totally ill-advised of them to go down this path. I believe that it's a bit of arse covering, for a better term, by the ACTU because they didn't act earlier. They should have acted earlier and they didn't act earlier.
Well, look, it's really got nothing to do with me. I haven't been a member, employed by the HSU for 5 years, so clearly it's about current issues.
Whether it's the MP, the union, or the investigators, the fallout is unavoidable.
There's now a new phrase in the Australian vernacular for working hard at something for years and achieving a useless result. It's called doing sweet FWA.